Hi, welcome back to my channel Manga Hoarder. My name is Laura and today I am doing a manga haul video. These are all manga that I received in the month of January. They're all kind of bits and pieces. Some I actually ordered in January and received right away, and some I had pre-ordered back in December. There's a couple of bits and pieces here and there for gifts that I received, as well as some books that I had bought for my 1001 Comics project that I'm doing. So some of these books you will have seen before. Most of them will be new. But I thought I would kind of bring all these little bits and pieces together. I am waiting on sort of a big haul coming up here, so I thought I'll do the bits and pieces haul now, and the big haul I will share with you a little bit later. Or before. I don't actually know when this is getting posted, or when that's getting posted. We will see how it all kind of plays out. But this is a bits and pieces January haul. So most of this manga is actually still sitting in envelopes. I did open them, and I've just left them in here because I haven't had a chance to add them into our database, and I haven't had a chance to do this video. So they've been actually in, most of them have been in packages now here for almost a month, waiting for this video. So I'm glad to finally get to do this. So the first one here it's not in the best shape, but it kind of was a good price, and I will definitely be looking for a replacement copy. But in the meantime, I have a copy, and this is for my 1001 Comics project. That is Ode to Kirihito by Osamu Tezuka. This was a vertical publication. It is a large omnibus. I think that this was also published in a 2-volume series, so that one is a little bit harder to get your hands on. But this one was a pretty decent price, but you can see that, you know, it's a little dinged up, it's a little bent on the corners, but you know, it came in a envelope, like they didn't put it in a box or anything to ship it, and it is a secondhand manga, so I wasn't expecting perfection, and I certainly didn't pay a price that warranted perfection. The spine is still uncreased, which is good, and you know, the contents inside look pretty good, so it's certainly not the worst. This is a medical thriller, I believe. I think it is about a contagious disease that turns everyone into dog-like beasts, and then about someone who is looking for the cure. I think that's what this is about. I'm not 100% sure, but it is one of the titles that's included in that 1001 Comics You Must Read Before You Die book, which is what I am trying to collect. So regardless of what the topic is, it's in that list, and I'm buying them this year. So I got this for a pretty good price, and I'm not, you know, like, the condition's not great, but I'm not actually upset about it at all. So looking forward to reading this. I am shamelessly underread in our Tezuka collection. We have quite a lot of Tezuka. I've only read probably a quarter of the titles that are in our collection, which is just horrible. I will get there, and I am working on them, and I always enjoy them, at least to some degree. There's something about his art and his storytelling that I do really like, so I would really like to get to this, and it sounds like a good title. It's supposed to be a good title. So our next package has another secondhand book, and I don't even know what's in each package, so let's see. Oh yeah! So this one is Sazai-san. This is The Wonderful World of Sazai-san, and it does not say what her name is on the cover. Oh, Machiko Hasegawa. So this is actually a bilingual manga, and I think quite a lot of this publication was actually printed, so you can get quite a bit of this in this particular series. So it's in English in the bubbles, it's in Japanese here in the gutter. So if you're actually trying to learn English if you're Japanese, or trying to learn Japanese if you speak English, this is sort of a nice book because it'll give you a chance to work through some of the translation. But Sazai-san, as you can see, looks like primarily yonkoma, and a lot of jokes, and was a very influential creator. You can buy quite a few. I only actually picked up volume 1 because I didn't know how this series would go. I didn't know what my budget was going to look like, so I do want to at least start the series. And this was surprisingly inexpensive, so I probably will pick up a couple more volumes. This one looks pretty good, and probably will be pretty fun. I've heard actually a number of different mangaka say in interviews, including the Erika Sakurazawa interview that I went to, talk about Sazai-san and how much they liked this series. So I am looking forward to getting into this, and again, another title from my 1001 Comics project. From another seller, I picked up a really similar title to Sazai-san. This is The Genius Bakabon by Fujio Akatsuka. And I think this one is also a bilingual manga, but in this case, the English is in the bubbles, but the Japanese is above the panels. So you can see it up here. I don't actually know Bakabon. I have seen the characters around, but I don't know the story. I'm assuming he's a fool. I'm assuming he's pretty stupid and does stupid things, and that this is a comedy, but I actually don't know anything about this. Again, I only bought volume 1. There are more available, and so I could actually pick up more volumes, and I probably will do that eventually, but I just wanted to kind of start the series, and I picked it up again because of this project that I'm working on, so this should be fun to read. So the next two are also part of this 1001 Comics project, but I have already shared them with you in a 1001 Comics wrap-up video, so I will link that up on the screen as well as down in the description if you're interested in watching that or not. But I am sharing them in both my haul videos as well as my 1001 Comic wrap-up videos, so you'll see these particular titles twice. This one is Tank Tankero. It's by Mica Joe Sakamoto. These are pre-war comic strips from 1934 to 35, so it is a pretty nice little publication. Unfortunately, they taped the receipt on, and it's actually damaging the book, so I'm going to have to do a little mission to, you know, remove some of this stuff, as well as, like, there was some damage here in the top, which I will have to re-glue on. So I do have to do a little bit of maintenance work, but the book itself, because this is inside of a box, the book itself is in beautiful condition. It just looks like this, and the artwork looks like this. So it's looks like a pretty cute book. Definitely you can tell the era from the color and from the illustration style. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I think it'll be a nice publication, a nice read, and this one was published by Fantagraphics, and I have never read a manga published by Fantagraphics that I haven't liked, so I'm looking forward to this one. And I have already showed this one. This is Pure Trance by Junko Mizuno. This is sort of like a mix of the ultra cute with the ultra grotesque. There's a lot of nudity and a lot of, you know, horror, but in these very, very cute drawings. So it's just sort of like this strange mix. And it is a little bit difficult to share the pictures because I can share this one. So this is how cute it looks, but then also it gets quite grotesque, I guess you could say. This isn't the nicest published book though, and you know, it is yellowing really early, I would say. It's yellow all the way into the hinge, and it feels like it's been printed on sort of like coloring book paper, and it is really tempting me to color it. Like even the drawings, they look like I want to color it. I know that that's not what this is intended to be, but it just has that like low quality feel to it. So unfortunately, that's a thing. This isn't something I normally would be interested in. It's not really my style, but it is sort of an interesting little look at some genre that I'm totally unfamiliar with, and I think it'll be an interesting read once I get to it. A new title that you haven't seen from me, but I know that Base Jalarin just picked up this title as well, which was really coincidental and quite funny. This is Secret Comics Japan, edited with notes by Chikao Shiratori. This is underground or alternative comics. It is actually just selections. I don't even know if they're short stories. I believe that they're just like chapters from different series compiled into here, and I bought it because I was looking for Usamaru Furia's Palepoli, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Palepoli. So there is a selection from that. I'm not entirely sure if it's the full thing. So again, I'm going to have to look into it. I think Palepoli was actually printed individually on its own in English, but it is impossible to find. I think that that's sort of the state of it, at least from what I've looked at. You know, I don't look very deeply at things. But I thought that this would give me a good taste. Is actually something that I've wanted for quite a long time. And like I think I said in my previous video, that because I'm doing a project, my budget or my allowance for what things cost is slightly different. So I did pay more than cover price on this title, just slightly. I have made sort of a slight monetary allowance, I guess, for anything that I'm buying for this project. I have a very tight budget this year, so I don't want to be buying things overpriced. But this is something that I've been wanting for quite a long time. I've been really eyeing it for a while, and I did just pay a little bit more. So I am pretty happy with the book. It is a large trim size. There's lots of selection from various different authors, including that previous Junko Mizuno. She's also represented in here. I think it'll be a fun curation. There's lots of artists in here that are quite familiar, and I will be counting it as my Palepli title in my 1001 Comics project when I draw it out of the jar, even if it isn't the complete story. I'm fairly confident it's not complete, it's just a selection, but I could be wrong, so if you know, please let me know down below. I'm sure you would anyway, but I really do appreciate when you correct me, because I don't always have time to look very deeply into a lot of things, so I really appreciate you letting me know. So then the last title that I picked up or bought for myself for this project is Town of Evening Calm, Country of Cherry Blossoms by Fumio Kono. I think that this is sort of like a historical look at the impact of World War II on the people who were living in Japan post-war, and what that meant for them. So it is a short little book. It is a hardcover. It was published by Last Gasp, and it is a pretty expensive one if you go and find it online. It's usually listed quite high. I picked this one up on Thrift Books, and I decided to jump in even though I wasn't certain of the condition, just because the price was quite good, and the condition of it is pretty good. The pages are sewn in, so they look pretty good, and there isn't really any dents or anything apart from sort of like standard reading, so I was pretty happy with it. I will say though, if you do live outside of the US, shipping from Thrift Books is pretty obnoxious. So unless the book is priced very low, it's probably not worth shopping on there, in my opinion. It wasn't that good of a deal with the shipping included, but it was a pretty good deal if it was just the book. At any rate, I was really glad to pick this up, and I'm glad it's part of this list, because it is something, again, that I've been looking at for a while. I've heard a few people talk about, and then, you know, you go online and you're like, oh, it's way out of print, I'm never going to get it. So through this project, I'm able to kind of build my collection out a little bit, and that's been really nice. The last title that I got for this project is Domu, A Child's Dream by Katsuhiro Otomo. This was a gift. I just got it in the mail from Samuel Trejo, so thank you so much. It was super, super nice of you to send this to me. I really, really appreciate it. It was something that I really didn't expect that I'd be able to collect at least anytime soon. I just didn't see it anywhere, particularly any of my usual hangouts online, and here, and I just have not seen it at all. So really, really grateful to you for sending this along. That was really nice of you, really, really thoughtful, and I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, Samuel Trejo's awesome. But anyway, Domu, this is part of the 1001 Comics project, and it is by the same author who wrote Akira, so I'm really looking forward to that. Akira is fantastic, and I haven't read this, and I would love to read more Otomo. And it is published in sort of like 3 volumes, almost 3 issues, but I feel like they're just substantial book-like enough for them to actually be volumes. It's sort of like, I'm not really sure what I should do with these. Do they go on the shelf, or do they go in the box? I'm not entirely sure. Probably on the shelf. They can stand up on their own. Anyway, it's 3 volumes. It should be complete in just this short thing, and it does sort of sound similar to Akira. On the back it says, a twisted old man gifted with extrasensory powers silently holds sway over an entire block of apartments. The occupants are puppets to him. to control. Life is his to give and take. But suddenly there's a new voice in his head, and before he knows it, a young girl with her own battery of psychic abilities has arrived to challenge him. So it does have, definitely sounds like it has a feel of Akira. So I think this is going to be really fantastic, and I can't wait to read it. And then the last thing that I bought, they're all from the same publisher. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. It's a Latvian publisher. I think it's called something like Kus or Comic Kus, something like that. I'm not entirely sure, so you can definitely correct me if you know down below. And this is it says Baltic Comics magazine. One of them, it just calls it Kus Comics Anthology. I bought a couple of different issues from this anthology, and I was informed of this by the same person who suggested that I pick up Stupid Guy Goes to India, which I recently read as well, and so I definitely wanted to pick up as some more. Now I think this is the title. I just unwrapped it, so I don't even know. I haven't flipped through them yet. I think this is the title that's, the theme is Japan. Yeah, this one is Japan. So a lot of the comic artists in here are from Japan. I think there's a couple of others that might just be sort of like standard submitters to this magazine that maybe are writing about Japan, but there's a lot of color in it. It's just a cute little book. A real variety of submissions, and it's all in English, which is fantastic. So I did get this one here, which is Japan. I got Comics Anthology number 8. I can't remember if there's a theme to all of them, but there was something about them that made me interested in picking it up. Oh, this one in particular. On the very last page, and I really had to investigate this because there's something I've been thinking about since I saw pictures of it, and I never knew where I saw it, and I didn't know how to go back to see it. But there's this picture, and they showed it up on the website. I need to find out more about this because this is called, I think it was an installation at a supermarket, and it's called Manga Farming, and basically it's literally manga in bowls of water growing radishes, and there was just something about this aesthetic that really appealed to me. And since then, like, I have a couple of manga magazines that I've been wanting to do this with. So yeah, I really needed to have this one. And then I got 2 more, and they must have been based on particular authors. There's quite a lot of Japanese authors in these 2 in particular, but I don't think I knew too much. This one is called BFF. So it's just another, like, very small little book, just sort of pocket-sized books. And just really cute publications, a lot of really cute art. I'm hoping that they're going to be really interesting. There might be some other artists that are in here that I'm more familiar with that are not Japanese as well, and I think, you know, I was kind of trying to be selective. And then I got this one, which is about, you know, it's the same trim, but it's about half the size. So it's just a little guy. The art looks like this. The prices on these were pretty good. They shipped really fast. Oh yeah, this one's called After Snowfall. Yeah, so I don't recognize. I must have been looking at the... Oh, this looks familiar. Yeah, I feel like I've seen some of these artists in other places. But I picked these up. I do like alternative comics, so I definitely wanted to check these out, and some of my background is Latvian, so I just was really pleased to see comics coming out of Latvia, because I really didn't know that there was sort of that connection at all. So I've never bought anything from Latvia before, so that was really cool. Yeah, I was just thought they were cute, and I liked them, and I was particularly, I think, you know, like, I was interested, but I think when I saw this picture of the manga farming, I think when I saw this picture it was like, okay, now I do have to buy some. So yeah, that's basically why that added to my collection. And there you have it. That was my haul. So that's all of the manga that I got in the last month. A bunch of little bits and pieces from lots of different places. Most of these manga were from all different vendors. I bought most of them by searching through AB Books or Abe Books, depending on how you pronounce it. And then also I got this one from Comics. So I will definitely leave links for this as well as Abe Books down below if you want to go and check it out. As well as Samuel Trejo, so you should go and subscribe to his channel because he's great. Other than that, I think that's it for today, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.